we're going to the revolution, I could hardly understand everything. And he goes, Shafik, we all have to die one day. Doesn't make any difference. You die today, tomorrow, or 80 years from right now.
Wow.
Die with dignity.
Wow.
Okay. Of course, at that time, I looked up to him. He was my savior. So I took those things very seriously.
Yeah.
But today, you know what? It's so true.
Yes, it is.
So true.
Well, what was the hardest decision that you felt you ever had to make?
Now, see, this might be, I don't think there's any decision that has been very hard for me to make after coming from the revolution. All the decisions I made in my life had nothing to do with me getting killed.
No,
so what decision would be difficult for me?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Sometimes people threaten me and I look and laugh and they get very angry at me.
You've had a few threats in your life, haven't you?
Yeah, quite a few. They've been trying to kill me for the last 40 years.
Ever since you were 6.
Exactly.
So have you struggled at all? I don't see it, but maybe you have a different opinion about that. Have you struggled at all with the cultural changes? Coming from Zanzibar and your route to the United States, et cetera, moving between these countries. Did you ever find it difficult? Or?
Well, that's another great question. My God, you should ask me questions every day. No,
if I had the typewriter, I would probably be able to get this in the book.
Well, there's not any human being on this face of this earth that has not struggled.
True.
But I've never used my struggle as a reason why I would not accomplish something. Struggle is a part of life.
Yes.
Just like going shopping or celebrating or wedding or your birthday, you enjoy it. You have to enjoy your struggles too.
Well, you've always said that it doesn't matter if I don't celebrate your birthday on the particular day. Your birthday's every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I've struggled a lot, but I would not call that struggle.
Mm-hmm.
It's more my educational journey through life, which sometimes is a lot harder than the other times.
Right.
You have to deal with it.
So, do you have a different definition for success today that you did than you did years before?
Well,
you feel it's developed?
Well, in my childhood, when I was growing up, going through the revolution and political changes and living one country after another, going to Pakistan, going to New York, going to California, it was, I learned different things. My struggles were different. My thinking was very different. So every moment in my life has helped me get to the point I am right now.
You've also had to rely significantly on what you're thinking, how you're going to figure these things out. You had to rely on your own innate thinking on that. You couldn't rely on someone telling you something because you experienced it and then you had to deal with it right then and there.
Yes, of course. It's and that's another very good question. One thing I learned from my father, he made all his decisions under 10, 15 seconds. He knew exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, you've always been that way too.
Yeah. So, if he did something wrong, he did it wrong 100%. If he did something right, he did it right 100%. There was no middle ground. There's no 80, 70, 80, 60%. Okay? So with me, I make my decision very fast. And I have no problem making decision. I was very decisive when I was 6 years old. If I'm going to go this way, if I'm going to go to school, if I'm going to do my homework, if I'm going to take a shower, if I'm going to wash my clothes, if I'm going to eat, if I'm not going to eat, if I'm sick, if I'm not sick. All those decisions are very tough for a 6, 7, 8-year-old to make.
Yeah. Or anyone.
They're very tough.
Any age.
So because I had to make all those decisions really quick, I think I'd struggle, but I think somebody else in my position would have struggled a lot more because I've gone through such a rough time. And for me, that was very normal time because I was a little kid. I didn't know what was right or wrong. So when I'm going through this revolution and this and that and change of city and state and traveling, it was very normal for me.
I think some of these challenges that you had to face is really what produced the type of person that you are today.
Oh, definitely. In my 65th birthday, and I'm 67 years old, I made a speech over there and I said, I've already lived 100 lifetimes.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of my life. And I thank for everybody that has helped me through this journey that I don't want to change even one thing in it. I don't want the revolution to disappear. I don't want me being away from my parents to disappear. I want all the problems I've gone through, because each and every one of them was a very good learning experience. When I sit back here today, I've had an amazing, amazing life.